The information in this program is for educational purposes only. It is not a guide for self-treatment or a substitute for professional health care. The products and plants identified in this program should not be used without consultation with your licensed healthcare professional. Hi, I'm Jim Munich. This program, The Diet for Natural Health, covers how to prepare foods and medicinal herbs to lose weight and to keep that weight off. It's a disease prevention diet for every day of your life, whether you're overweight, underweight, or somewhere in between. The diet is based on modern nutritional science and anthropology. Consider our ancestors ate less sugar, less salt, more calcium, more vitamin C, more fiber, and more essential fatty acids. My supporting cast of experts are among the best I could find. Candace Corson, MD. Certified nutritionist Nancy Benke-Strasser. And medical doctor Stephen Holt. After years of research and personal experience, I've come to one conclusion. There's one best diet for each person. It's the same one for weight loss and disease prevention. This diet fights cancer and heart disease. It helps lower blood pressure and lower cholesterol. It is the diet for preventing hypoglycemia and adult-onset diabetes. It may help relieve or prevent arthritis and osteoporosis. The diet for natural health is based on this premise. We eat plants or we eat animals that eat plants. Thus our chemistry is made up of plant chemistry. Therefore plants are our best food and best medicine. If you believe that is true, and it is, then plants are the primary food in your diet. The best plant foods are unprocessed, whole, fresh, and organically grown. They include vegetables, fruits, and flowers. Salad greens of many colors, both sweet and bitter. Beans and peas, and a multitude of whole grains, nuts, and seeds. These are high-fiber, nutrient-rich plant foods that promote good health and longevity. There are foods I restrict in my diet. Foods high in fat, hydrogenated fat, simple sugar, and bleached white flour. This is a latrine. I'm going to use it to make a point. To lose weight, there are foods I must avoid. To protect my health and look better, I'm going to bury these restricted foods. I have lost my taste and no longer eat high-fat hamburgers as well as high-fat sausage and pepperoni pizza. Eating too much white bread, rice cakes, and flour tortillas may too quickly raise my blood glucose and insulin load. I've replaced no-fiber pasta with whole wheat noodles. Ice cream has too much sugar, fat, and cholesterol. I can't let it shorten my life. I eat plain low-fat yogurt with less glucose-rich sugar than sweetened yogurt. Potato chips have no beneficial fiber and too much fat and salt. Corn chips provide a high glucose load with too much fat and too much salt. Soda pop can impair my calcium absorption and has high amounts of refined sugar. Refined and bleached white flour is too quickly converted to glucose. Most cupcakes and donuts are loaded with refined starch, fat, sugar, and occasionally cholesterol. Hey, who took the bite out of the donut? Tyler Munich, my cameraman, depicts the abuse of youth. Many years from now, his high-fat, high-sugar diet may lead to insulin resistance and diabetes. Anyway, the buried junk food now is food for earthworms, nematodes, bacteria, fungi, moles, and other creatures that live and die, aerating and enriching my organic garden. With this diet, we eat more fiber, less fat, less refined starch, and less sugar. This diet can change anyone from a sluggish couch potato to a lean, hard-body, high-capacity, high-energy, super-efficient, noble creature of astounding mental capacity, infinite wisdom, and boundless passion. That's good, isn't it? Okay, let's prepare one of my favorite dishes that is a perfect example of delicious food that fits the diet for natural health to a T. Enter into a colander 2 cups each of corn niblets, black-eyed peas, and a 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Drain and wash away the excess salt, sugar, and starch. Add a cup of green onions, a 1/4 cup cilantro, a cup avocado, a cup firm tofu, and 1 clove chopped garlic. Combine all the ingredients. Then season with a few squirts of hot sauce, a dash of balsamic vinegar, and the juice of 1/4 lemon. This delicious dish is rich in protein, complex carbohydrates, fiber, and health-protecting phytochemicals. Flavonoids in the tofu, cilantro, hot peppers, tomatoes, and lemon juice may be cancer-preventing. I like this between meals as a snack to boost my energy and quicken my mind. The soybeans in this dish contain the phytoestrogens, genistein, and datazine. Evidence suggests these chemicals may provide protection from breast cancer, prostate cancer, and osteoporosis. Let's discover how phytochemicals from soybeans, tofu, vegetated protein, veggie burgers, and other isoflavone-containing legumes may protect a woman's health. Here's Dr. Stephen Holt.
One of the real consequences of menopause that is quite significant from the medical perspective is really the onslaught of degenerative disease. Most specifically, the onslaught of cardiovascular disease in the mature female that occurs following the menopause, and of course the occurrence of age-related cancer and osteoporosis or brittle bones. Again, we're finding that there are natural means of addressing these very important health issues in the more mature female. Again, it would appear that the soy isoflavones or phytoest or phytoestrogens are capable of, in some circumstances, preventing certain types of cancer, especially cancer of the breast and perhaps cancer of the colon. We know that these soy isoflavones exert a definite health benefit in terms of cardiovascular health. They assist in cholesterol reduction and exert other beneficial cardiovascular effects. And we now know from some very elegant clinical trials that were performed in the United States and Europe that the soy isoflavones are capable of even improving bone density. So they're capable of treating osteoporosis to some degree.
Wild leeks. Dandelions. Stinging nettles. Watercress. Morel mushrooms. Dryad's Saddle. There are over 4,000 flavonoids in the foods we eat. Like handy little tinker toys, our body uses flavonoids as inducers and promoters of good health. Research shows flavonoids are antioxidants. They inhibit cancer growth. They fight allergies, improve blood circulation, reduce blood pressure, protect blood vessels, fight infection. They are metal chelators and help regenerate tissue and organ systems. They are anti-inflammatory and anti-ulcer. Eating more plant foods and fruit is how I get more health-protecting flavonoids in my diet. Drink herbal teas and green, oolong, and black tea. Eat richly colored salad greens, flax seeds and perilla seeds, bean sprouts, grapes, berries, apples, edible flowers of many kinds, also tofu and vegetables of every kind. Nuts like almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts contain numerous flavonoids that may protect me from cardiovascular disease, cancer, and osteoporosis. I like to eat my colors every day. Green, red, yellow, white, and blue fruits and vegetables signal the phytochemicals plants provide. Vitamins, carotenoids, and bioflavonoids, the initiators and promoters of good health and longevity. Okay, let's review. I've learned to eat less bleached white flour, salt, refined sugar, and animal fat. Research suggests that we eat too little fiber. I've increased my fiber intake per day from 20 grams to 40 grams. Eating more fiber helps prevent weight gain, high blood pressure, diabetes, colon cancer, appendicitis, and diverticulitis. Soluble fiber from oats, barley, beans, apples, and other fruit may lower cholesterol and blood pressure. Fiber also draws water into the digestive tract, prolonging the full feeling. Eating soluble fiber forms a gel-like trap around sugars and fat in the stomach. This gel-like trap delays sugar absorption, preventing glucose surge and rebound associated with diabetes. Eating more soluble fiber reduces cholesterol in 3 ways. First, fiber binds with bile in the stomach, preventing fat and cholesterol absorption. Second, lowered bile levels then stimulates the liver to break down more cholesterol to make more bile. And third, short-chain fatty acids from fiber digestion in the colon help inhibit cholesterol synthesis. Fiber fermenting in the bowel lowers pH, providing cancer protection. Fiber also binds and removes carcinogens from the digestive tract. Here are a few of my favorite high-fiber foods. Mayan caviar, or a cup of cooked beans, baked, black, navy, or pinto, provides 16 grams of fiber. That's more fiber than the average American gets in a day. A plate of salad greens or a cup of vegetables, either raw or steamed, provides 5 to 6 grams of fiber. Apples, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, grapefruit, and oranges provide about 2 or 3 grams per half cup. High-fiber cereals like All Bran, Oat Bran, and cooked whole grain cereals provide up to 11 grams of fiber per cup. Here's how I get 47 grams of fiber in just 2 meals. Breakfast is a cup of all bran, blueberries, and an orange, providing 19 grams of fiber. Lunch is a cup of beans, a salad, 1 slice of sprouted whole wheat bread lathered with hummus and fenugreek sprouts, 1 apple, 28 grams of fiber.
That's 47 grams of disease-preventing, health-protecting fiber. Here's a tip. Select your high-fiber foods by their nutrient label. I select cereals that have more grams of fiber than grams of sugar. The fiber amount should be higher in grams than the sugar amount. This All brand, for example, has 10 grams of fiber and 6 grams of sugar. Here are some more fiber tips from medical doctor Candace Corson.
Fiber is one carbohydrate we do not get enough of. I've increased the fiber in my diet by eating more bran muffins, bran breads, and whole grains for cereals, breads, and pastas, including high-fiber crackers. I add 2 big handfuls of wheat bran to every pot of oatmeal, and my children like it. This is a reliable cure for constipation. Some nutritious foods that are high in fiber and bulking include whole oats, barley, quinoa, which is a grain, brown rice, amaranth, buckwheat, bulgur wheat, or wheat berries. These foods provide lots of energy, and when taken with water, make you feel full and satisfied. Sprouting seeds is an excellent way to add fiber, health-protecting phytochemicals, and plant enzymes to your diet. Try alfalfa, clover, radish, fenugreek, or mung bean sprouts. I am decreasing my refined flour intake. I use whole wheat and other whole grains for pancakes, waffles, muffins, and the like. In the beginning, you may use about 1/2 the amount of white flour mixed with the whole grain flour. This will ease your family into the new taste and texture.
Well, that's the good news about fiber. Now let's turn our attention to fats. There are good fats and bad fats. Dr. Corson explains.
Most westernized people eat far too much fat. And we do have to remember that as we cut our fat intake down, there is one category of fat that is good, and we must have this fat for longevity and vibrant health. These are called essential fatty acids, or EFAs. Sources of essential fatty acids are flaxseed oil, fish oil, borage oil, pumpkin seeds, lemons and limes, beans, evening primrose oil, black currant oil. My favorite is flaxseed oil, obtained by grinding fresh flax seeds that I keep in my freezer for freshness. Or I use a tablespoon of flaxseed oil from the health food store, mixed in a 1/2 cup of soy milk. This gives me omega-3 fatty acids that are anti-inflammatory and health-protecting soy chemistry. The second most common nutritional deficiency in the United States after folic acid is too little essential fatty acids, or EFAs. EFAs consist of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Most of us get too little omega-3, and this is what we need to add to most of our diets. As mentioned, cold water fish or flax seeds are good sources. These essential fats allow our body to make enough anti-inflammatory messengers, called prostaglandins, and less inflammatory prostaglandins. Something I've noticed in my practice is people who have dry, flaky skin often need essential fatty acids. They're deficient. And people who have recurrent piling up of too much earwax often can rid this problem of themselves with essential fatty acids. A diet high in animal protein and animal fat leads to more inflammatory chemistry in one's body, as well as more acidic chemistry, which promotes degenerative breakdown.
Thanks, Candace. Now, oncology dietitian Nancy Benke-Strasser will share the importance of essential fats in her diet.
Flax seeds have been endorsed by the FDA for cancer prevention. Eating flaxseed and other omega-3 rich foods such as almonds, Brazil nuts, and walnuts may provide protection against cancer as well as heart disease, stroke, and inflammatory diseases such as arthritis. Fats still need to be limited to 20% of total calories. Lignans in flax are antioxidants that inhibit estrogenic activity and inhibit the prostaglandins that increase cancer metastases. I munch on flaxseed right out of the bag, or I grind them in a coffee grinder and add them to cereals, waffles, vegetable dishes, rice, even juices. Flax seeds boost the immune system. It increases vitamin D levels and helps retain calcium, magnesium, and phosphate for better bone health.
Another way to get health-protecting essential fats into your diet is to eat cold water fish or take fish oil supplements. Once again, Dr. Holt.
We now have products that are delayed release fish oil, where one can take a standardized high concentration of fish oils that may be useful at suppressing inflammation such as occurs in the bowel. This is very recent research. Of course, fish oil has unquestionable benefit in the promotion of cardiovascular health. The story, of course, being here that the Eskimo diet, which contains a great deal of fat, does not seem to promote cardiovascular disease in the Eskimo. And the reason for that is allegedly the incorporation of omega-3 fatty acids of marine sources in their diet.
There's one family of processed fats that may be dangerous to your health. You must restrict these fats. Once again, Nancy Benke-Strasser.
When vegetable oils are hydrogenated to make margarine, for example, they form trans fatty acids. Trans fatty acids are also formed from partially hydrogenated oils in cookies and cupcakes, candy bars, and snack foods like chips. Trans fatty acids may increase the risk of heart disease and cancer.
Margarine substitutes are available that contain no trans fatty acids. Ask your supermarket to stock these products for you.
Nancy believes the bottom line in designing a cancer-fighting diet is restricting the total amount of calories she eats.
As Thomas Jefferson said, "We never repent having eaten too little." Excess calories and excess fat lead to excess fatty deposits within our bodies. This excess stored fat increases the secretion of steroid hormones, such as estrogen and androgens. Excess food consumption leads to hyperglycemia and excess insulin secretion. These factors may increase your risk for cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Overweight women are at a higher risk for endometrial cancers, postmenopausal breast cancers, kidney cancer, and gallbladder cancer. The diet that is good for the prevention and control of heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure is the same diet that prevents and controls cancer. We all have cancer cells in our bodies at all times. It is the health of our bodies that determines if these cancer cells multiply or are removed from our body with the help of our immune system. I believe our diets impact greatly on how successful we are at controlling cancer growth. The most important food groups to include for cancer prevention are fruits and vegetables. They are the richest sources of phytochemicals.
even essential fats such as omega-6 fatty acids, if eaten in excess of our body's needs, may increase blood supplies to tumor cells and increase metastases and tumor growth. That is why in this program we want to emphasize increasing the ratio of omega-3 fatty acids to omega-6 fatty acids. Both omega-6 and omega-3 oils come from plants. Omega-6 sources to restrict include the oils corn oil, safflower oil, and soybean oil. Ideally, no oils should be high heated. Heating oils creates free radicals, which causes tissue damage and degenerative disease.
To avoid overcooking foods and overheating and overusing oils, practice steaming foods in water with a teaspoon of olive oil. The water keeps the oil from getting too hot, and the oil carries the flavor of the food. In this example, stinging nettle tops seasoned with soy, lemon juice, and chopped ginger root. Cooking small amounts of olive oil in water enhances flavor and improves absorption of oil-soluble vitamins A, E, and D. The nettles are great over roasted peppers on whole grain sprouted wheat toast. Olive oil is the oil of choice in our house, and here's why. Olive oil has no cholesterol. It's an antioxidant, has vitamin E, prevents atherosclerosis, is anti-aging, improves heart function, is hypotensive, and anti-diabetic. Keep olive oil cold in the refrigerator to avoid oxidation. The wide mouth jar provides easy access.
Earlier, we discovered that fiber, a complex carbohydrate with many health benefits, should be increased in our diet. There's another family of unnatural carbohydrates that are potentially harmful. Dr. Corson.
Refined sugar is not truly a natural substance. It is a super concentrated, simple carbohydrate, unnatural and potentially dangerous. If we chewed on a sugar beet or a stick of sugar cane, we would be getting nature's package, including pure water, minerals, and just a hint of sweetness. But just think about it. We take a ton of vegetable material and process it dramatically into a white crystalline substance in a form that nature never intended for us to have unlimited access to. Refined concentrated sugar causes an increase in our insulin, burdening our system in multiple ways. According to research, high insulin levels contribute to obesity, cancer, and heart disease. Sugar also stiffens the proteins of our body, accelerating the aging process. Sugar promotes anxiety in many people by stressing the body's sugar balance mechanism, elevating stress hormones. How do we take sugar out of our diet? Start with healthier forms of natural sweeteners. Use a food processor or blender to grind raisins or dates and add this to cereals or baked goods. Spread it on toast. Seek advice from a health food store. Try stevia, a plant that is naturally very sweet and comes as a powder or liquid drops. Use small amounts of maple syrup or the natural sweetness of fruit to sharpen the taste of food. When you cut back on sugar, you begin to experience for the first time the true sweetness of natural foods. I feel years younger and far more energetic after taking this unnatural daily burden out of my diet. My children have gotten used to this beautifully. Now they'll say that a dessert tastes too sweet. I don't like it.
I have stopped burdening my body with refined sugar because the weight of scientific evidence points towards the use of whole, natural, complex carbohydrates to meet our glucose needs. Dr. Corson explains.
Natural sugars, which are complex carbohydrates in whole grains and cereals, whole wheat bread and whole wheat pasta, provide ample carbohydrates for our body's energy needs. Add to this fresh vegetables and fruit for their unrefined carbohydrate content and health-promoting load of fiber, minerals, vitamins, proteins, essential fats, and phytochemicals that protect us from cancer and heart disease. Whole grains are so superior to white flour, providing fiber, more minerals, and lower glycemic index. That is, they are less quickly turned into glucose by the body, preventing an insulin-spiking sugar load. We just don't buy candy anymore, or pop. Soda pop is too acidic. Both of these things are loaded with sugar. Just think, 12 teaspoons of sugar in a can of pop. Also, aluminum may leach out into this acidic stew. Too much aluminum can contribute to osteoporosis, weakening our bones. Ice cream is still a weakness. I have shifted happily to fruit and plain yogurt, and notice that I feel good after this, instead of slower, duller, and heavier after ice cream. It's good to notice how we feel after eating specific foods and follow what our body tells us. We become more active, more useful.
Many of our ancient hunter-gatherer ancestors ate amounts of protein equal to or greater than what we consume today. How much protein do you need? Research suggests that between 50 and 70 grams is sufficient. Recommended daily allowances in the United States is 51 grams per day for women and 64 grams per day for men. Candace tries to average 50 grams per day. Nancy consumes 40 grams or less per day. Here's a protein requirement formula I use to estimate my needs. First, you need to discover your lean body weight. That's your ideal weight, roughly what you should weigh, not necessarily what you weigh. Then take this figure in pounds and divide it by 2.2 to convert it to kilograms. Then multiply your kilogram weight by 0.8 of a gram to get your protein needs. In this example, a 90 kilogram person needs 72 grams of protein per day. In my case, I weigh 69 kilograms. Multiply that by 0.8 and I get 55 grams of protein for me per day. I increase that by about 10% because I'm more active than the average person. I do light weightlifting 3 or 4 days a week and walk every day. Now let's talk about that most essential molecule that without it, all life on Earth would perish.
Starting with the most abundant of all the molecules in our body, we can think of water as a fundamental molecule for life. About 65% of our body weight is water. So we need to appreciate water as the gift we cannot live without for more than a few days. We need to drink clean, pure water, filtered or distilled, about 8 to 10 glasses per day. This lets our bodies remove toxins and keep our cells and organs hydrated and clean. Water cleans our kidneys and bladder of toxins and salt crystals. Remember, it is common for people to overeat when they are actually thirsty and need to drink water. Most people are too busy or they forget to drink enough water. And when we are sick, we usually need to drink even more. When I am sick, I try to drink 12 ounces of water every hour while I'm awake, taking about 3 ounces every 15 minutes or so. Our bodies do not need any other drink besides water.
The diet for natural health is flexible enough to include human differences, both cultural and genetic. So let's take a look at 3 different people and how they use the diet for natural health in their lives. First, Candace Corson.
If you gain weight and cannot lose to a weight that is healthy for you, even when on a good, unprocessed carbohydrate diet, then I recommend a low carbohydrate diet and more protein with less fat restriction, but only healthy plant fats, essential fatty acids, and lots of non-starchy, high-fiber vegetables. I advise you to find an experienced nutritionist to help you do this successfully. This is what I do. I try to limit total fat to 25% or less of all my calories. The average American gets about 40% of calories from fat. I try to avoid animal fat, aiming to use more essential fats, the good fats, from flax seeds or flaxseed oil. I cook with olive oil or canola oil only. Clarified butter, also called ghee, is also beneficial, but I try not to use margarine ever because of the trans fatty abnormal acids that are not found in nature. I avoid butter and other animal fats because pesticides and other toxins like dioxin accumulate in fat tissue and are concentrated there to potentially dangerous levels. Another reason to cut your fat consumption is that total calorie intake is closely tied to cancer risk. Obesity may actually promote cancer growth. I like to eat a lot of food. The only way I can do this is to eat less high-calorie fat and to eat bulking foods that are filling but low in calories. Fresh produce, vegetables, and fruit are ideal. High in fiber, low in fat, with lots of minerals, vitamins, and enzymes that are alive.
Well, we have discovered the importance of complex carbohydrates, fat, essential fats, and fiber in a healthy diet. Now, oncology dietitian Nancy Benke-Strasser will give us some nutritional tips to avoid cancer.
In review, to prevent or control cancer, I fall back on over 4,500 research studies from around the world. Try to eat a plant-based diet. Limit animal protein. A high-protein, high-animal fat diet may favor tumor development. Eat less saturated fats. We need to limit weight gain by lowering caloric intake. Eat more than 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day of many colors, including cruciferous vegetables and citrus fruits. Choose complex carbohydrates over simple sugars and get them from a variety of whole grains, legumes, roots, and tubers. Process foods minimally and avoid white flour and white sugar. Eat upwards of 60 grams of fiber per day. Improve your ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids by eating flax seeds. Choose organically grown foods or do your own gardening. Avoid additives, which includes flavorings, dyes, artificial sweeteners. Avoid alcohol and don't smoke. And also include a vitamin mineral supplement rich in antioxidants.
Candace and Nancy have reviewed the aspects of their diet that keeps them healthy. Here's what I do.
Dieting for me is intuitive. I may eat more protein than Nancy and Candace, whereas they may eat 50 grams or less per day. I eat closer to 75 grams per day.
I don't count calories or grams of fat. I eat slowly, and I stop eating before my belt buckle tells me I've had too much.
Candace and Nancy keep their fat intake between 20 and 25% of calories.
I may eat 10% fat one day and 30% the next. I keep my cholesterol and saturated fat down
by not eating animal protein, ribs, burgers, pizza, sausage, and bacon. I step on the scales twice a week, once on Friday to see if I can splurge a little on the weekend, and once again on Monday to see if I have to cut back to stay at the weight I want to be. I have buried and tried to eliminate high fat, high sugar, low fiber foods that turn too quickly to fat and glucose. I eat fish once or twice a week, and I have a 1-egg omelet with lots of high fiber vegetables about once a week. The high fiber, essential fat rich paleo waffle is a delicious treat I have every Saturday morning. Snacks are typically whole foods and vegetables from my garden. Quick to prepare high fiber dishes like hummus, cucumbers, Mayan caviar, and the like. I use about a half cup of skim milk on my cereal in the morning, and I am trying to eliminate all whole fat dairy and cheese from my diet. As a substitute for cheese, I eat tofu cheese. I eat veggie burgers 2 or 3 times per week and make great veggie sandwiches. Beans of all kinds are a mainstay 3 or 4 times a week. I have a salad at lunch and dinner every day with fruit, greens, flowers of all colors, and essential fat-rich seeds and nuts. Until recently, I did not take a vitamin or mineral supplement, but on Nancy and Candace's advice, I now do. To prevent acute infections, colds, flu, and the like, I make my own echinacea extracts and Chinese phytopharmaceuticals. You can learn more about making medicines in your kitchen from our other videos: natural health, edible wild plants, trees, shrubs, nuts, and berries, cooking with flowers, Native American medicine, and little medicine.
There is one more important thing I do every day.
Recent research published in the New England Journal of Medicine suggests that walking about 2 miles per day can cut death from all causes by 50%.
Daily exercise has many benefits. Here are just a few.
Exercise may improve your ratio of good cholesterol to bad cholesterol. It cleanses and nourishes your cells, improves rest, reduces stress, burns calories, strengthens the heart, builds muscle, lowers blood pressure, delays the onset of degenerative disease, strengthens bones, improves skin tone, and improves bladder control.
See a physician to design an exercise prescription for you based on your abilities and needs.
Running is 3 times harder on joints than walking.
When walking and you carry a 25-pound pack on your back, you effectively double your calorie expenditure.
Wearing 5-pound ankle weights on a 2-mile-per-hour walk increases your calorie expenditure to the equivalent of a 7-mile-per-hour run. Walk after a meal instead of before a meal to get a greater calorie burn. Exercising replaces fat with muscle. Muscle burns more energy than fat. Building muscle mass helps keep your weight down.
Remember in the beginning of this program when I said there's really only one best diet for each person. It's the same one for weight loss and disease prevention. Well, in a way that's true. You see, other diets lean towards extremes. Let me show you the difference with a somewhat crude illustration. Some diets are all fruits and vegetables. Others lean heavily towards protein and fats. A few have a cultural or genetic basis. The diet for natural health is central. It's not extreme.
In summary, the diet for natural health recommends we exercise daily, eat more fiber-rich foods, consume more fresh vegetables and fruit, drink more pure water, and eat more omega-3 essential fatty acids. We should eat less bleached white flour, less salt, less refined sugar, less animal fat, and less hydrogenated oils that contain harmful trans fatty acids. In this Herb News Network segment, we're going to help you destroy the following barriers to good health.
There are several barriers to a healthy diet that we must overcome.
The first barrier is motivation. Without substantial motivation, you will not change your bad eating habits.
Illness is a great motivator. Often a heart attack or cancer will force dietary changes on most people. A better way is to make the changes before you become ill.
Food preference is another barrier. It is difficult to give up your favorite high-fat and sugar-loaded foods.
People's tastes really can change. I have seen dramatic changes made in people's diets, including my own and my family's. My 2 recommendations for success are these. Number 1, be kind to yourself, be compassionate, and take things gradually. Number 2, just start adding the good things, like apples and vegetables, and let the other things fall out of your diet naturally over time.
How to keep family members all on the same page, all on the same diet?
Getting your family on the same page can start with watching this video with you, so they'll know where you're coming from. The other things that help are being gradual, not being coercive, not being in a hurry to change that diet instantly, and having compassion both for yourself and your family. If you make it something fun and you lead by example, feeling better and looking better and being a nicer, happier person, your family will be more likely to want to come along with you.
Time constraints on the cook. Come on, who has time to cook?
Most recipes in this diet take 15 minutes or less to prepare.
When you have no time to cook, you need quick, delicious, health-protecting recipes. Cultural flavor principles have many health benefits, are easy to prepare, and can make ordinary dishes explode with taste. Here are a few examples.
Saigon-style tofu is fiber and flavonoid rich, high in calcium, with cancer and virus-fighting protease inhibitors. You'll need 10 thin slices of fresh ginger, 10 ounces of firm sliced tofu, and 1 cube of your favorite vegetable bouillon. Dissolve the bouillon in a half cup of hot water. Lay the ginger to one side in a pan and simmer the tofu for 10 minutes or until the broth is absorbed. Keep the snack, entree, or side dish in the refrigerator and watch it disappear. Here's a fiber-rich, health-protecting waffle that blends the whole grains of many cultures. You'll need a cup of low-fat Bisquick, a cup of buckwheat pancake mix, and 2 cups of 20-grain cereal. A 1/4 cup of smashed almonds, 3 tablespoons of flax seeds, and 3 tablespoons of wild rice, 1 lemon, 1 egg white, no yolk. First, cook the wild rice in 1½ cups of water for 10 minutes. Add the 2 cups of 20-grain cereal and continue cooking for 2 minutes. Combine the wild rice and cooked cereal in a bowl with the Bisquick, buckwheat, almonds, and egg white. Add the juice of a lemon and enough skim milk to thin the mixture, about 1.5 cups. This waffle is great with fruit, unsweetened yogurt, and in this case, raspberries, bananas, bee balm blossoms, and maple syrup. Quick, light, and healthy Japanese cucumber salad requires 2 cups of sliced cucumbers and rice wine vinegar. Splash on 3 tablespoons of seasoned gourmet vinegar. Add chopped fresh dill. Garnish with edible flowers, dill and daikon radish flowers in this example. Crank on black pepper and serve. To make an antioxidant-rich, health-protecting Oriental flavor principle, mix 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, 1/4 cup of low-salt soy sauce, 1/8 cup of rice wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon chopped ginger root, and 1 clove chopped garlic. Substitute lemon juice if you haven't got rice wine vinegar. Next, steam some vegetarian wontons, then dip the wontons in the Oriental flavor principle. This flavor principle makes tasty stir fries. Curry is a subcontinent Asia flavor principle with numerous health-protecting herbs. I buy this pre-mixed vegetarian curry combination from an Oriental market. Add a tablespoonful of curry to the water you're cooking rice in for color, improved taste, and health-protecting antioxidants. The Mediterranean diet has an antioxidant-rich flavor principle. Mix to taste 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a cup of diced tomatoes or tomato sauce, lemon juice, garlic, basil, and oregano. Use this combination as a sauce or to saute vegetables. In this recipe, I'm cooking pumpkin and patty pan squash. Later, I'll add mushrooms and broccoli to the dish. Here's the finished plate demonstrating the fusion cooking of 3 flavor principles. Hummus is a Middle Eastern dish high in fiber and rich in health-protecting phytochemicals. To make hummus, enter 1 cup of garbanzo beans to a food processor, a tablespoon of olive oil, 2 or 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of chopped, drained, and washed green olives, 2 tablespoons of black beans, clove of chopped garlic, then chop and blend the mixture until smooth. Spread it on toast with cucumbers, or try it as a snack on high-fiber crackers. If you are concerned about buying sprouts that have been on the shelf too long and may be contaminated with bacteria, grow your own. Here's how. Sterilize your sprouting jars in the oven at about 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. Soak the seeds for 6 to 10 hours. Then put the sprout jars in a clean area of your kitchen where there's subdued light. Wash the sprouts 3 times per day until they are ready to eat in about 3 or 4 days. Clinical trials are ongoing testing the effectiveness of sulforaphane in broccoli sprouts as a treatment for cancer. Be certain to add broccoli sprouts to your list of good things to put on a salad. Raspberries are being tested in the United States as an anti-cancer therapy. The active phytochemical is ellagic acid. Raspberries in a salad, a side dish, is a delicious way to provide nutritional support for the prevention of disease. Another barrier to successful dieting is the lack of knowledge. We hope this program has filled the information gap. Feeding your intellect is the best way to succeed. Here are some resources, books, and videos that will help make your life more sensible and enjoyable. Be certain to write or call for a catalog of our videos, books, and computer interactive software covering edible wild plants, edible flowers, nutritional therapies, medicinal plants, Native American medicine, and much more. Write Munich's Media Methods, 24097, North Shore Drive, Edwardsburg, Michigan 49112.
Get a free catalog of Dr. Stephen Holt's excellent books and a catalog of herbal supplements for nutritional support from Biotherapies. Call toll-free 800-700-7325. To order Herbalgram, the publication of the American Botanical Council, and receive a free catalog of books and software covering medicinal plants, call the American Botanical Council at 1-800-373-7105. Another must-have resource of books and seeds of the best plants to eat is the free catalog from Richter's The Herb Specialist at 1-905-640-6677. This program was made possible by the following people.